Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today, playing some mono black vampires in Historic Best of 3, as usual. This is my second video for Historic since the release of Alchemy, trying out some of the new cards. This deck has certainly changed ever so slightly. If you don't want to hear me talk about the deck, you can click on the timestamp in the description. It'll take you right into the first game, and you can see how the deck performs. Now, I'm not going to do a full deck tech of this deck because it's a work in progress. It's going to change going forward. If you do want to hear me talk about a vampire deck, I recently did a Rakdos Vampires deck tech. Pretty much the same deck with just a few modifications. It might give you an idea of how some of these cards play. Now, the big changes to this deck are basically the Faceless Haven becoming a 3-3 from a 4-3. Not a huge nerf. I still think playing the Snowlands and the Faceless Haven is well worth it. And then the other new card is Sap Vitality, a pretty sweet instant speed removal spell for 2. Sap Vitality deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Choose a creature card in your hand. It perpetually gets +3/+0. We have a lot of very powerful cards in our deck that would love to get that +3/+0. Something like a Gifted Aetherboard being a 5/3 for 2, going to be pretty sweet. So, gonna jump into a few games and see how this vampire deck performs. See you over there. Vampire time in Historic. Very hopeful for this one. I think this is just a powerful deck going to perform pretty well. Opening hand looks a little weak, but I think these Zealots drawing into more action is going to be pretty powerful. Hopefully find something good going forward. I just had to switch the deck up and I really noticed the new UI this time around. Really wondering what you think about this new UI. Do you think it's a good change or do you think it's a horrible mess? I'm not really sure myself right now. I think it's just something that's going to take a little bit of getting used to and maybe eventually it'll feel okay. But I think a lot of people are not super happy with that UI just yet. So the opponent is playing a Izzet control deck and making me think that they might have some kind of counterspell. The one that's like a Mana Tithe is kind of wigging me out. I'm thinking I don't want to jam the Sorin just yet. Let's attack in with the Zealot and see what they do. Okay. So the old 1/1's getting in. Okay, I think I'm just going to go out with the other Dusk Legion. Take a little bit of damage. Oh, it's an Opus deck. Of course. Well, got some Sorin Reassurance. I think it's probably okay. There's a chance they have Anger of the Gods or Sweltering Sun. Would really suck, but no, it's looking okay. So now I could put out the Sorin or I could just pump up my Knight. I think it's fine to jam a Sorin. Okay, and I will put the +1. I'm going to put it on the Zealot. I'd rather them use their removal on the Zealot than my Knight of the Ebon Legion. A little bit unfortunate that I didn't find a creature to cheat in. So they did have the removal. It was the correct choice to put it on that. And they opt to get rid of my poor Ebon Knight. Search for Azcanta, sure. Not what I want to see. You know what? I think I'm going to draw. Take a bit of damage. If I find a big... Okay. I was going to say, if I can find a big vampire, I can cheat it onto the field with Sorin, but... diversifying my +1/+1 counters has worked out against the spot removal of the opponent. Everybody's favorite hero of Dominaria. Hi, Teferi. Alright, 1 card in hand, and that's a pretty good card there. Now, do I want to start hitting Teferi? I think I do. They're at 15, that's still a little bit too far away. Hopefully this Sorin does land, and I can start making threats. Yeah, let's start making threats. Love that animation. Very lucky to find the one of Sorin the Mirthless. I should probably be playing the Sorin avatar with a bat, but I got my Oko face on. Lame. Let's see what they do with it. I'm surprised they didn't decide to just Wrath of God, but I guess this gives them more value overall. My head is in the way. They killed one of my Sorens, but the other one is still at 5.
Let's skip to the good part.
That's a quick question. When I do edit my video, oh god, look at these lands. Outrageous amount of lands. Okay, hold on to that thought. I'll come back to it in a second. Let's see what I find with the Castle Lockwayne. Not really good enough. Wow, they had the removal for it. Oh, opponent, you are rude. Does my camera position bother you whenever I play Planeswalkers? When I edit videos, I definitely notice that my face is blocking the 6 on Sorin, but I don't know if it's all that important to know the Planeswalker loyalty. Maybe I'll do a better job of reminding people from time to time, but I've tried my camera in lots of different places. I see some people play them over the pet. I don't particularly like that. You're kind of blocking some weird stuff there. Did not want that card. Yeah, let me know. This Castle Lockwayne definitely starting to hurt, but it's okay. Let's try to get rid of this, I guess. Can they turn on the cave? They can. So I can't really attack in super freely. I still think I have to try. If they decide to turn on the hull of these Storm Giants, it at least has Death Touch. Yeah. Okay. I'm fine making that trade there. Little unfortunate to find all the Sorens and no Champion of Dusk. That would be key. Now that they've flipped the Azcanta, they still have the Teferi, though. I don't think there's any possible way for me to come back into this game. Way too many lands, way too many Sorens. Just a really bad top of the deck for us. And the opponent kind of had the removal when they needed it. Gonna go a little bit longer, but I'm pretty much ready to just to throw in the towel. Once Jeskai gets enough resources, they have a few cards in hand, things feel really bad. That is a champion, though. Champions do help. I'm surprised they... Okay. Yeah. They want to keep the Teferi around. It's reasonable. Let's do it. Why not? If I find 2 CMC Vampire, it'll go onto the field. All 4 Sorens in the top 20 cards. Brutal. And they found the counterspell. It's okay.
Let's skip to the good part.
Have to imagine they have Torrential Gearhulks, maybe another Mizzix Mastery, things like that coming at some point in the near future. Do they have a way of killing the Sorin? Okay. This hurts, but I think I'm going to do this. I know I'm taking a lot of damage, but it's maybe okay. Ooh. Unfortunately, Sap Vitality has to be a creature in your hand. If I could give the Champion of Dusk +3/+0 when he's on the field after I take out the Teferi, that'd be pretty cool. Okay. I think I'm going to hold on to the Sap Vitality for now. Put this out. Put the +1/+1 on the Champion. And I'm going to swing it to Teferi. They decide to keep it around. I will pump up my vampires with that death. Yeah, put that out. No reason not to. Surprisingly, with the amount of cards that they have seen and drawn, they're only 7 cards ahead of me. This vampire deck does have the ability to see quite a few cards.
We need to move quickly.
And hopefully I can start gaining a little bit more life with the Sorin. I'm just hoping things get in. Things like Justice Strike, especially right now, it's going to be really good. They have 2 in the graveyard. I don't think they're going to be playing the full play set of them. Wow. Okay. So they must have a way of killing the Cordial Vampire, I would imagine. Brutal. I was really hoping for a creature here. Draw a card. It hurts. It's fine. It's only 4 damage. It's fine. Another Sap Vitality. Okay. They must have removal for it. Yeah, 2 damage in that. Nothing I can really do about that. I could get sneaky here. I could turn on the Faceless Haven and kill it, and that would give my Cordial Vampire +1/+1 and let it live. But I think having the Faceless Haven around is probably going to be more important overall. Maybe I should have turned on the Faceless Haven to get that +1/+1. I think I'm going to do this. Got to get rid of Teferi. I think they have 1 in exile. Yeah, so 2 Teferis are down. I'm down to 6 life, though. So if they have something like Mizzix's Mastery, things could get real dicey really soon. Okay. So this might be a good example of the weakness of Sap Vitality. I was actually thinking about not putting Sap Vitality in the main board and instead having it as a sideboard card, because when you go up against a deck like Jeskai, it's not really going to get so much value. Most of their creatures are going to be 4 or 6 toughness, unless they're making sharks. And if you do get in a position where you just don't have a creature in hand, it really kind of sucks. This is fine.
You need to slow down.
They do have the Archmage's Charm, though. Okay, let's... What's more important, the Sap Vitality or the Sorin? I actually think the Sap Vitality might be more important. So I'm going to... Sorin gives me lifelink, but I do have another Sorin coming in 2 turns. So I'm going to put this out. They know I have the champion, so they're certainly going to counter it with the Archmage's Charm. Yeah. So now I can either kill Teferi with the Faceless Haven, or I can do this. I think I prefer this play pattern. This will draw me into the Sorin next turn. I keep it in hand. This is an outrageous amount of Sorins and lands in the top portion of my deck. Okay, Mizzix's Mastery coming. Or yeah, Opus. I'm so used to them casting this off of Mizzix's Mastery. I always forget you can just actually hard cast it. I'm gonna... No, it doesn't matter. Right? Yeah. I might be dead now. So I can play out the Sorin, give my Faceless Haven +1. I could also sacrifice it to give it a little bit of life. It's not going to do anything in the long run. I think I have to risk going down to 1 life when the 4/4 attacks next turn. If they have a way of killing the Faceless Haven now, it'd be real bad. But this is, I kept going in this game, but this was kind of what I was talking about 5 minutes ago. Once you get under that thumb of Jeskai control, I don't really think there's any way of coming back. Yeah, they have Lightning Helix. They just have so much card value in their deck. Their cards go 2 for 1 so effectively. Final answers. Like, they were down to no cards in hand, and now they have... They have more lands than me, more cards, way more cards in hand. Just kind of what they do. So, Thoughtseize and that's coming in. I don't think I want the Infernal Grasp. And then I think the Go Blank is fine. So plenty of cards to deal with the opponent, hopefully. What is coming out of the deck? I think the Gifted Aetherborns, not hugely effective, and I think the Sap Vitality is going to be mostly bad. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to put in 2 Gifted Aetherborns and maybe take out 2 of the Cordial Vampires. They just seem a little bit too vulnerable. And maybe the 3 toughness of the Gifted Aetherborn can keep it on the field a little bit longer. Okay, get to play first. Opening hand looks just fine. Okay, show me what you got. Okay, we'll get rid of the Justice Strike for now. But that is a whole lot of problems coming down in the future. Gonna need to find a Sorin very quickly and another land. There's the land, and the Zealot's gonna find me the Sorin. Close, right? it's almost a Sorin. Okay. Not a Sorin. That's okay. So they don't have Archmage's Charm mana up because they played the Sacred Foundry. I think I'm okay just attacking in for 3 and then probably playing out the Zealot. How should I be worried about board wipes? They do have Wrath of God in the deck. They showed it to us last time. I don't want to overcommit too much, so I think I'm okay with this board now. I've already overcommitted quite a bit, but all these drew me cards, so it's not such a big deal. They still don't have Archmage's Charm mana. I could go out with the Champion of Dusk and draw 4 cards, potentially. Yeah, I'm going to try it. I'm loading up the field, but this is going to give me a lot of value. If they counter it, they counter it. Okay. There's a Sorin. Got to imagine Wrath of God. So they're a little bit off of the Torrential Gearhulk. Okay. Try to get Sorin on the field. I'm going to +1 on the Zealot. I feel like Justice Strike. They have to have something. When they're holding up 5 mana, 2 hitting cards, they do have the Archmage's Charm, though, to do something. Huh. Wow, really? Okay. So they have to answer a Sorin, they have to answer this board, and they have Faceless Haven. Lot of things. I'm surprised they let that damage in. Why not just take out the Zealot when they had the chance? Okay, that's Torrential Gearhulk mana, which means bad news. Should I just minus, like, do the second +1, kill my Zealot, and deal 3 damage to them? It's not the worst idea, right? They're going to be able to kill something with the Justice Strike or the Lightning Helix. Okay. I want to see what I draw. This is a weird spot. Okay. I think I've made up my mind. That's Sorin. I'm going to attack with the champion, force them to do this. Yeah, should be good. Should be good. That Sorin is huge. Oh, it's maybe okay. I was kind of hoping they were going to Justice Strike. I actually didn't see the Opus in the graveyard. So they tap the... Yep, this is okay. This is a cool win. Keep the one with 4. Nice. Yeah, like that. That's fun. Fun one. All right, showing that it is possible to beat Jeskai. Is it worth it to bring in the Gravedigger? Maybe. Gravedigger's Cage to stop. Maybe I should have had it in for the Mizzix Mastery Torrential Gearhulk. They are very good at destroying that because they have the Prismari commands. Very annoying. I still think I want to bring it in. What am I going to take out, though? I think the Cordial Vampires are just kind of dead. And maybe I'll go down one of those. Yeah, sideboarding. A little bit tricky against Jeskai. I'm not really sure what I should be doing. I'm perfectly honest. Any advice? Love to hear it. Oh, a win here would be real big. Ooh, if only this were another land. It's yeah, can't keep a 1 land hand, but all right, well, that sucks. Okay, so I guess I get rid of the Blood Chiefs and the Knight. The champion maybe becomes relevant at some point in the future. The opponent also mulliganing. No. We're going to go see what's in their hand. Okay. All right, so Struggle City everywhere. Sorin would be real nice. They shock that in. Huh. But why? Why? Oh, yeah, they want to cycle that, of course. Ooh, if I can get... Okay, if I can get a clear go blank, it's going to be real bad for the opponent. You know I'm going for it. No counter, no counter, no counter. Oh, you... Okay, they might draw... Ouch. Still. Lots of things could happen. I'm going out with this instead of turning on the Faceless Haven because I can pump it to save it if they have some kind of weird damage. Okay. Hope they keep drawing dead. Both of us on really bad draws. Oh, that's gold. It's an awesome card for them. Really impressed with Go Blank. This card was really hurting me a little while ago, but I am happy with it now. That's very sucky. But you know what? This is okay. So I'm going to go see what their last card is. Torrential Gearhulk? No. No. And a Purveyor of Blood. That's a 5/6. A 5/6 that actually doesn't die to... Ooh, why would you tap that? Ouch. A 5/6 that doesn't die to Justice Strike. That's really cool. I think I'm okay turning on the Faceless Haven. It's possible they have a Gearhulk. They could have drawn into another one. Nothing. Awesome. Maybe I should have put out the other one. Okay. Hopefully these blood vials don't actually end up biting me. Biting me in the butt. Okay. Okay. I guess I have to try to take him down to 1. I would like this Faceless Haven to survive because I can get out the Zealot afterwards. If only the Faceless Haven hadn't been nerfed, I would have won. All right, draw card. Never complain about more Zealots. What do I do? Do I just go in? I think I go in with the 2. It's so nerve-wracking right now. Magma Opus. No. Okay. Good draw by the opponent. Can't do anything with that floating mana. But I will put out another Zealot. Put out 2 Zealots? No, I'm going to put out the Aetherborn. I might need to start gaining some life. They drew so many cards. Ah. I need a Sorin. Where are you, Sorin? Wrath of God probably doesn't actually save them. They would be down to 2 mana. They could have something to kill the Faceless Haven, of course. But... Yes! Yes! Oh, love Jeskai victories. They are some of the sweetest victories. Oh, goodness, goodness. All right, keep going. Didn't realize that first game was 30 minutes long. Oh boy. I feel like the video I put out on Wednesday, Mono Black or Mono Red Burn, was not even 30 minutes for the entirety of the video. This is a little bit iffy because of the Faceless Havens, meaning I can't really get the Cordial Vampire out, but I do like this hand, so I'm gonna try it. Yeah, Jeskai really slows down the game. Champion of Dusk is good. Yeah. So hoping to draw into... even if I drew into a black source, I don't think I'd put out the Cordial Vampire, just because I don't want it to die to a shambling gas sack. See what the opponent's up to. It'd be nice if I had a good target for the Blood Chiefs. No. This looks like maybe the Bolus is Citadel. No, okay, it's just Lurish Food, which is a very powerful deck. I think I will kill the Ravenous Squirrel, because that thing gets out of control real quickly, and I'm not going to attack in. Don't want to lose my Knight of the Ebon Legion to a Shambling Ghast. Puts -1/-1 on something because of its stench. Nasty ghoul it is. So I miss on the land. I could attack in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attack. If they block, I'll pump the Knight. If they let it through, I think I'll probably just put out the Callous Blood Mage. Okay. I'd really like to hit another black source. So this should provide a swamp. Absolutely. Thank you, Blood Mage, for the swamp. Easy game. It's scripted. The entire thing's scripted. It's not like I had, 18 hits in the deck and it wasn't super likely to, something like that. A little unfortunate they get rid of my Blood Mage while sacking the Ghast to a Deadly Dispute. Is what it is. And a Fatal Push. Sure. So they've cleaned my board and they have potentially 6 mana. They could drop a Bolus's Citadel if they have a land and something. Maybe this deck doesn't play the Citadel. I'm actually not really familiar with the Lurrus John Food thingy here. All I know is I'm terrified of it. The Sorin changed things. Oh. So I could go Sorin, Knight, and cheat in the champion. And that would be a pretty nifty turn. I could just go out with the Purveyor. You know what? I think I like Sorin on the field. They don't have anything of any kind of threat right now. And then I could use the Sorin's +1 next turn to get rid of the Luris if I need to. Could put out the blood. No. We'll put out the champion. I want the cards. Okay. Not shabby. I think their deck might have a hard time dealing with the Sorin. Especially if I can get it up a little bit. Okay. Nasty bit of business from the opponent over there. So they can get this Ravenous Squirrel up to a 4/4 very quickly. And there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Okay. So I think what I'm doing is putting out the Cordial Vampire. Should I attack in with the Knight of the Ebon Legion, I would be able to pump it up to a 4/5. And they wouldn't be able to kill it super easily. So I think I'm okay getting in with this. Is there a reason? Yeah, we'll see. I think I should put the other... No. I didn't want to put the other Knight out because I needed the mana to pump. Okay. Oh, is this not going to work out for me? I forget how things stack. Yeah, this is not working out for me. Because I get to kill my Cordial Vampire. But it's going to pump my Knight and the champion. Yeah. Is there any way I get around this? No. That's okay, though. I think it's okay. Sure wish I had the Cordial Vampire still on the field. I wasn't really thinking too carefully when I attacked into the Shambling Gas. This thing always throws me a little bit off. But now they're without that. I have a 6/6. They can sacrifice some stuff to get this Ravenous Squirrel up. But yeah, they're gonna need to draw really, really well. You know what? That's a pretty good start. Trail of Crumbs, always a card that it doesn't seem like much, but boy oh boy, does this card ever do a ton of work every time it's on the field. Okay. Yeah, we'll do this. And slam in. Sure wish it had Trample. Can't have everything, though. Sure. Gonna need to find a Bloodchief's Thirst. Gonna need to find it really quickly. So, Purveyor to the field. They are going to be making Blood Vials. Probably quite a few of them. But it does fly, so... Possible Clock. Blood Vials actually might work out more for me than them. They do have tons of mana, though, to start sorting through their deck. Blood Vials, if you're unfamiliar, discard a card, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. Every time they cast a spell, they're going to create one of these, and then when I attack him with the Blood Vial Purveyor, he gets a little bit bigger. Oh, no. Oh, no. These things are going to make the Ravenous Squirrel massive. I didn't think about it. Oh, no. It's just getting bigger. They do need a card in hand to be able to crack those vials, though. So are they going to go after Sorin? I'd be okay with that. They are. Sorin down. That was a big hit.
Darkness will always return.
So Sorin number 2, the Vampire Man, keeps on coming back. And give me another champion. No champion, but Sap Vitality could be interesting in later turns.
My bloodline flows through you.
How hard am I attacking? Maybe not that hard. Oh, maybe that hard. No, if I put anything underneath the Shambling Gas to just kill the Dust Legion Zealot, yeah, just go in with the Purveyor. 7/7. It does trample, so throwing the Goose underneath it, not going to be too bad. Hopefully they have the Witch's Oven, so they'll be able to kill my Zealot no matter what they do. And this Ravenous Squirrel is going to be pretty troublesome at some point going forward. They can also blank my life gain if they put the Goose in front of the Purveyor and then sacrifice the Goose with the Witch's Oven. Might be something. Nope, they just take it. Knight of the Ebon Legion gets a little bit bigger every time at the end of step. If somebody lost 4 life, it gets a little bit bigger. This squirrel is going to be massive. I'm not a big fan of this squirrel. And Sap Vitality, a little bit late to the party, not going to be nearly as effective as I need it to be. However, maybe it can kill the Goose next turn, and that might work out well. This Ravenous Squirrel is almost reminding me of my days when I used to play Modern and Affinity, before Affinity got kind of soft banned with one of the Moxes, I think, got banned. Some fast mana stuff got banned. I can't remember what it was. But you always were so afraid of like a giant 1/1 that suddenly becomes a 20/20 and kills you in the air out of nowhere because they're able to put so many counters on so many different things. And this Ravenous Squirrel is, they can sack so many things and make this thing probably like 13 or 14 by the end of this turn. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that. On top of that, of course, players who are on Jun Fu taking their time. There's certain decks that just people just take their time. A Meat Hook Massacre for 0, you say. I wonder why they did that. Okay. So this Blood Vial Purveyor is now a 9/7 with the +1/+1, 10/8. Because they're not going to be able to get rid of... Oh, no, that's not true. They can get rid of them because they can draw a card with this. Oh, yeah, I think I said they could blank my life gain, but they can't because of the trample on the Purveyor.
This is but a taste of my power.
I don't mind going in with the Knight either, because if they put the Ravenous Squirrel in front of the Knight, it does get Death Touch when you pump it. So they're going to have to put something in front of the Knight. Still taking 10 in the air. Okay. Sure. So Ravenous Squirrel getting big. Nice. Love that trample. Okay. Knight of the Ebon Legion grows a little bit more, and yeah, they're still in a position. Sure, they have a huge 10-10 squirrel. The thing is out of control, but it's not really going to do too much. I'm sure they have some form of removal. Have they played any removal yet? Fatal Push. Fatal Push could, in theory, get rid of the Purveyor because it is a 4 CMC creature. If they find another push, have something to sacrifice, which they have that in spades. They can certainly take the Purveyor out of the sky. Sure. Sure love sitting through all this. It's exhilarating gameplay, isn't it? When your opponent's just sitting there doing all this Trail of Crumbs, sacrificing Witch's Oven, cat stuff. No reason somebody else's turn should be like 5 minutes longer than yours. Sure. So that's what I think I said, like, this squirrel's going to be massive. It's big. It's a big little guy. So if they want, they can start using these blood vials to get rid of some of these lands. Try to find something a little bit more agreeable. Meathook Massacre also gaining them quite a bit of life, just incidentally. Every time they bring that cat in and out, I guess they're gaining 2 life, right? Because they gain 1 life from the cat. And then when it dies, they gain 1 life? No. I'm wrong. Whenever a creature your opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. So they are just draining me for 1 and draining me for 2 and then gaining 1. Powerful kitty cat. This is a little bit brutal. I don't know how I'm going to edit this together. The Jeskai game was so long, and now this game is turning into a slog. This is going to be a 3-game, hour-and-a-half long video, I think. So Sap Vitality, again, kind of not doing what I want it to be doing. Although this is fine. They're going face. Happily put a Callous Blood Mage underneath the Ravenous Squirrel. Yeah. I think it might be loading up both of the Faceless Havens. Not both. If I draw a land, it could be both. I do have to be aware of extra life gain that they can get from the food if they have enough mana. It looks like they're going to hold up 2 mana at least. Oh, Cordial Vampire. Oh boy, Cordial Vampire. What a card. I don't know why that animation is still glitched. Come on, get that fixed. I think I'm going with the... Is it risky to go in with all the boys? It's a little bit risky. No, we'll go in with this boy. Okay. The Champion of Dusk is a little bit harder for them to remove. I might need to jump underneath the Ravenous Squirrel. I'm hopefully going to gain some life here, but there's still the chance that they have a Fatal Push for the Blood Vial Purveyor. Okay, cat to the field. 18 counters on a Ravenous Squirrel. This is outrageous. Come on. 15 minutes already to my 25. 10 minutes. Whew. Fatal Push still live. Okay. I'm assuming they're going to sacrifice the Cauldron Familiar. Cordial Vampire triggers. Trigger, triggers. Everywhere triggers. More triggers. So my Blood Vial Purveyor is going to be a 13/11. They are gaining life, though. Oh, no. It's going to be one more than that, right? But they do bring the cat back in, gain one more life. So I think they'll go down to 1. Kitty cat. Hero cat. It's a goose. Wow. Close. Real close. How many cards are they? 30 cards to my 39. Yeah. It's more the time thing. I know your deck is a little bit more complicated than mono black vampires, but you got to play a little bit faster than that. I think I'm going to take the 22. Can you imagine if they had a spell that doubled the Ravenous Squirrel's power? They could sacrifice a lot of things and maybe get it up higher. I didn't think of that. Actually, that may have been a mistake to let this slink through. But if the opponent can get a kill with this, big claps. Actually, it's starting to look a little bit more real than I had thought. Oh, no. I should just go for a coffee. Let the opponent do their thing. They can sacrifice a lot of blood vials. They can still bring in the cat for 1 more food. It's a drain and a pump, so 2 more damage. So they need to find 6 more damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think they actually have it. That's pretty wild. Yeah. Ravenous Squirrel. I fully admit I underestimated the Ravenous Squirrel. The opponent's slow play is maybe getting to me a little bit. It is a psychological tactic, I think, taking so much time to do things, and I'm just kind of bored right now. I'm fine with this game ending. I should have blocked. My mistake. Opponent's 10 minutes. Can you imagine 10 minutes to 25? But this is a cool kill. Hats off to the opponent. Pretty awesome. My hubris coming through here. Oh, they had a lot of sacrifice. Okay. Boom, boom. Are they going to keep going? Wow. Opponent's working out some stuff, I think, right now. Got some issues to work out. Yeah. There you go. Cool. That's a cool kill. That's a lesson that I, and hopefully you, if you're still around watching this nonsense, will consider going forward. I'm actually not sure if the gold blank is worth it. But we will bring in the Grafter's Cages, the Infernal Grasp. More removal is probably going to be good against big things like that. I don't think the Crippling Fear is going to be necessary, or any of the hand disruption. So I think I'm okay with this. Sap Vitality, not really seeming too good in this matchup. So I'm probably going to cut at least 2, possibly more. You know what? I think it's just going to be all the Sap Vitality because... No, maybe not. It is remove. The problem is their creatures are so annoying. that I need to have the removal for them, but they're not worth killing a lot of the time. We'll see. This deck is not playing Leyline of the Void. The only graveyard hate that it is playing is the Grafdigger's Cages. I'm not sure if I should be playing the hard graveyard hate like Leyline of the Void, but okay, we can finally get back into it. Unsurprisingly, a long sideboard from the opponent. This hand looks okay. So if I can get this Cordial Vampire, I'm not playing it perfectly well. It's dying very quickly to the gas. I have to maybe protect it a little bit better than I have been. Oh, do I want to... I'm thinking, do I want to run the Knight into the Ghast? No. I'll just play out that. In next turn, Sorin into Champion if I hit my third land. If I don't, who knows? Probably just attacking with the Gifted Aetherborn and put out the other Aetherborn. It's a land. Do I want to attack first? Yeah. Sure. Okie doke. So this is like the dream start. 1-2-3 Sorin with the Champion. I don't think there's a better 1-2-3 in this deck. Just kind of insane to do this. Fantastic. Infernal Grasp with the Grafdigger's Cage. I don't think I could have asked for better cards. It's a goose. Mostly irrelevant against my deck. Not really too worried about the graveyard. So I gotta make sure this Cordial Vampire stays alive. Because I'm not doing too well on that note. So do I put out Cordial Vampire, kill the Gilded Goose with the Infernal Grasp? Is it worth it to do that? Maybe it's just fine to get the triggers.
I bestow a mighty curse.
Maybe I can sneak something in here. Okay. Trying to get cute. They create a treasure with the Ghast. Oh boy. Do they have removal for it? Okay. I think I'm going to hold up this. And the Grafdigger's Cage can come down next turn. I'm not in too much of a hurry to get it onto the field, I think, at this point. Unless the opponent has some really good cards in hand, I would almost consider conceding at this point, just because you have 8 minutes on the timer. If you go to game 3 with less than 5 minutes on the clock, I think it's really hard for you to close out the game, especially on a deck that's kind of grindy. Oh wow. Okay, let's put this on the Knight, I suppose. They're going to be big. Okay. I don't think I need to actually put out anything, do I? I don't really want to reveal that I have a Grafdigger's Cage. So I think I'm just going to pass the turn. They could have something like a Ritual of Soot or some way of destroying the board. I don't think they do, but it is always possible. The Champion of Dusk is going to be really hard for them to get off the field. Okay, so I guess the plan is just... No, I was going to load up that. I want to hold up the Infernal Grasp. So I think the plan is just to attack in with everything. If they leave themselves a little bit light on life, I can always use the Sorin's +1 to do 3 damage to something. I could also pump the Knight, although that's a little bit of a risky one because they might have a Fatal Push. Lots of options on this side of the field. I don't think there are that many on the opponents. 3 mana, 4 mana technically. Because they could use the Goose to crack a food, and then they could actually go up to 6. It's possible that I could have done something a little bit different to guarantee a win here. Okay. But I didn't want to risk anything like this happening. Yeah, it happens. Sure. All the vamps get a little bigger. I'm going to sacrifice Sorin and put the champion onto the field. I drew a few lands. Sure. I'm actually okay going out with both knights. They'll both get pumped. Getting a little tired, I'll admit. It has been a very long time since I've had an opponent on a clock like this after just game 1. They can draw an extra card if they crack one of their treasures. They choose not to, though. Okay. Opponent is tenacious, I will say that. They are fighting through it. Never giving up hope. I would have thrown in... Then again, I did go to battle with that Jeskai deck a little stubbornly as well, and especially in that first game. But I feel like they're more dedicated to playing out the game than I ever would be. 2 cards in hand, lots and lots of mana for them to use. Okay, so something they should have done 3 or 4 minutes ago, they finally do it. I think I'm going to keep everything the way it is. They don't know I have the Grafdigger's Cage. Maybe that can help me get a win. I kind of feel like how this is all going, though, is they're going to run out of time. And I'm going to be in a position where I have to decide if I take the win because of the clock or if I concede just before the time runs out if they are in a position where they could have possibly won if they had more time on the clock. They're under 4 minutes. I don't know how their deck really wins with 4 minutes to go, especially with 2 pieces of removal in my deck. They could get a squirrel going, but it's going to die very quickly. Yeah, we're going to see. 21 minutes on my clock. Everyone's favorite, Cauldron Familiar. I'm surprised it doesn't also make a food when it enters the battlefield. That would be... Why not, right? Alright, they get in with a cat. Bang. And a Ghast. Well, Sorin is pretty cool for next turn if I can find some action. I don't. Okie doke. I imagine they crash in here. They do not. I'm not really sure what the play is here. If I go out with the Callous Blood Mage or if I put Sorin onto the field and start pumping up my Dust Legion Zealot. I don't really hate that, but I feel like I could just lose my Sorin very quickly for no good reason. I think I prefer just the Blood Mage. Draw a card. Sure, more land. It's super fine. Need to find some of my big threats very soon. They're also digging. I'm wondering if they're digging for lands or if they're digging for action. That is potentially a little bit scary. Wow. Deck. Okay, I'll put out the knight. If they decide that they want to meat hook for like X2 or X3, I can always pump the knight out of range of that. Keep it on the field. Yes. Even through the shambling gas -1, it will still stay alive. Playing carefully, but with the amount of lands that I've drawn, don't have any of these massive threats. I think I have to be a little bit cautious about what I do. Wow, deck. Please, no more of this. Okay. Maybe this, oh, this is definitely wrong. I definitely thought that I had a little bit more life, or a little bit more mana, that I could keep up the pump and put out the Sorin. I went one turn too early. Hopefully that doesn't cost me. But even if they do wipe the board, it should be fine. Kind of think that's what's happening. They can do X4 if they really need to. But then I can always load up the Faceless Haven, give it a +1. Go in with that. Although the cat blanks that. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake to put out the Sorin. I blanked on that one. That's my bad. Sorry, vampires. I led you to your death. And they gain a little bit of life. Infernal Grasp. Okay, I'm going to load up the Faceless Haven and put the +1/+1, but I don't think I'm attacking because of the cat. I may as well attack. There's no reason not to. What? Oh, I guess if they brought out the cat and blocked with it, they don't... I just always assume that they have Witch's Cauldron. Okay. Drawing some cards with Trail of Crumbs. Hard to beat that kind of... What do you call it? Card advantage. That's the word. Although not doing too bad at myself. We're both at 45. We were both at 45. They do have the Witch's Oven now. Do they have the mana? They absolutely have the mana for it. There it is. So now my Faceless Haven is certainly never getting in. That's okay. Sure. I might actually start drawing with the Castle Lockwing. But I think for now, load up the Knight and just kind of pass. Make them do something. Cats. I love cats. Cat's my favorite animal. I have my cat. I'll put a picture of him up on the screen, I'm sure. But this cat, I hate this cat. This cat pisses me off. Yeah, Resolval. Yeah. You take forever, cat. Oh. Yeah. Oops. I knew the timer was coming, but I didn't realize it was getting to that point. They were in a pretty good position. They may have actually won that game, but that's, you wasted 18 minutes of my life with that one. You know what? I don't feel bad. Let me know. Would you concede in this point, at this point, or would you just let it run out? I think I'm fine with this one. They were far too slow in that game one and got to learn to play a little bit quicker. I'm now at 1 hour and 15 minutes. Oh my goodness. All right, one more. Last game with vampires. I'm going to have to do some editing magic to try to get this game or this video into a timely manner, because right now it has been a bit of a marathon running into Jeskai and then into one of the slowest Golgari food. I think I called it Jund food at some point. It's definitely Golgari food, I think, right? I don't remember seeing any red. Oh, I'm being slow now. Wave to the opponent, of course, and see what they're on. Hopefully, mono red. Oh, okay. Yeah, it could be mono red. You know what? This is the first time I've used Sap Vitality. I finally have to use it. Get rid of that annoying Dragon Rage channeler and pump up my Aetherborn to a 5/3. That's a pretty good stat line. Maybe someday in the future we'll get a 2 CMC Death Touch Lifelink 5/3. It'll sell packs. Miss on the land, a little bit unfortunate. The Gifted Aetherborn to the field. If they don't have a lightning strike or some kind of 3 damage thing, static whatever it's called. I played it in my last video. I can't remember what it's. The 3 damage spells, all those. Ooh. Shocking in the Shatter Skull for 3. And a Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay. I like what the opponent's doing. Okay. So I actually can't really get in with the Gifted Aetherborn too cleanly. Oh, goodness. The deck is punishing me. All right. So Cordial Vampire to the field. And gotta hope I find something. This is... Sorin army here is not the greatest thing. They're going to have a Mana Gorger Vampire coming at me very soon. They also really can't attack in too cleanly. Maybe the Blazing Root Walla could come in. I think that's... Oh, Fiery Temper on the Gifted Aetherborn is so good. All right. And they get the Mana Gorger. Hey, this is going to be a fast one. It's super fast. It's only 3 minutes in and I'm almost dead. Right on time. Okay. So, Sorin onto the field. They can put a bit of effort into killing the Sorin. I kind of hope they do. If I can get some cheeky kills on these elementals with blocks on the Cordial Vampire and the Purveyor, pump up the team, and then I have a follow-up Sorin coming down the pipeline. They are down to 14 because of the 2 Hammer Pass shock-ins. Bit more than a shock, right? Wonder if we have... Shock lands are called shock lands because they do 2 damage to you when they enter the battlefield, and if you pay it, obviously you pay that life. I wonder, did anybody come to an agreement on what paying 3 life would be called? It's not really a shock land, it's a bolt land, maybe? I think they're just called the modal flips, but... Mana Gorger Phoenix, unfortunately, looking at this Blood Vial Purveyor and thinking, hoo-hoo, maybe not. Oh, they're getting frisky. I love this attack, opponent. It's what you have to do. Could really not work out very well for me, depending on if they have some kind of instant speed removal. Okay. Boom, boom. Good. Good. Okay. So next turn, I can +1 on to the Purveyor and then get in for 8. That's a lot of life gain. 9. Okay. Okay, they're going to kill the Cordial Vampire. That sucks. Still, fella here is getting a little out of control. It's going to be hitting for 11. Lifelink? Yeah. Yes, I'll take all that life back, thank you. No land. Okay. Land would have been nice there for the Blood Chiefs on the Blazing Root Walla, but it wasn't to be. And now, I don't know what they really do against this Blood Vial Purveyor, other than murder me. But they only have, what, 5, 11, 14 damage? It's possible. They have some direct damage spells, maybe a couple of Fiery Tempers in hand. But they also have to deal with the Callous Blood Mage. Faithless Looting, they are digging. Thankfully, the Mana Gorger Phoenix doesn't have haste. Arclight Phoenix. What kind of design is that? Okay, they get rid of a couple lands. They can also use these Blood Vials to start cycling things if they don't like what's in their hand. Maybe they try to find an answer, but mono red is going to have to do it through damage, and 10 toughness is not something that's easy to overcome. Really happy with the Purveyor. Purveyor is actually performing a lot better than I had expected it to originally. Faithless Looting for 3. I think it would have been cheaper to just use the Blood Vials. They would have saved 1 mana and had kind of the same effect, right? In a way. I think the Blood Vial you have to discard first, yeah. Another opponent going to timer. Really, it's that trample. That trample is really nice. Although the Mana Gorger Phoenix can't block anyways. But that looks like a win to me. Just to be safe. 15-11. Oh, what a big old Blood Vial Purveyor. All right, what is coming in against this? I guess the Go Blank probably going to be all right. And you know what? The Crippling Fear might not be the worst thing. Choose a creature type creatures that aren't the chosen type. So choose vampires and wipe out all non-vampires. What am I removing from this deck? Kind of thinking the Sap Vitalities might not be super great against this opponent. They make a lot of really annoying things, and I'm not sure how well that's going to work out. Oh, everything's glitching out on me. But it might make a big thing. Maybe I'll go down just a couple. I think I'll probably take out... No, I like this Sorin because it makes life-linking vampires, and that could be important at some point. Maybe it's just one of these Knight of the Ebon Legions. Maybe I'll go down to Blood Chief's Thirst as well. I think I need to get like a really good Crippling Fear wipeout to close out the game quickly. Little Blood Chief's Thirst removal is probably not going to be the most efficient against a deck like this. Seasoned Pyromancer is just so good. Ooh. Almost good. I would 100% keep this if it had one more black. It had a black source. Throw it away. Okay. Okay. Let's dunk the Castle Lochwain. I can't imagine using it. And the Go Blank is actually quite effective against their deck. So I think if I can get these Cordial Vampires onto the field and a couple of triggers, things could get out of control real quickly. That's the hope. All right. So, Knight to the field. I do need to consider that I need to leave removal in the deck for the Cordial Vampire to really work out well, because you need to be actively killing things if you want to get the pumps on the Cordial Vampire. Expecting your opponent to block or to attack in a weird way, it's just not the best approach to the Cordial Vampire, I think. So maybe that's why something like a Sap Vitality, Blood Chief's Thirst in the main is quite effective. That's what I'm thinking. So what do I want? Of course, I guess it's a land off the top, but I don't think I'm going to rush out the Go Blank. We'll see what they put in the bin. If they put a couple of the Mana Gorger Phoenixes in there, I might go with the Go Blank. They put a Shatter Skull and an Ox. Huh. So what I could do is put out the Cordial Vampire and then Blood Chiefs, one of the Elementals, and make a couple of 3/3s. That's a really greedy play, but I think if they don't have a way of answering it, that could end up being really neat. Let's see. Yeah. Is it worth attacking? No. Not yet. I could also exile the graveyard with the Callous Blood Mage, a little used ability. I always kind of forget about that. Okay. Put something good in the graveyard that I can... Oh, yeah, Fiery Temper. That's okay. It'll go up to a 4/4. 4/4 is going to be a little bit harder to deal with, obviously, than the 3/3. Or 5/5. Yeah, double trigger. Right. They might be getting to the point where they want to do this soon, although it's 8. So I think I have one more turn to use the Go Blank. Since that's the case, maybe I'll just put out the Callous Blood Mage. Draw a card. Cordial Vampire. Game wants me to have these terrible dinner guests. Lava Axe would be pretty disappointing. Is that what it's called? I think so. It's possible that they have something 5 damage in their deck. Something that does 5 damage. Lightning Axe. That's what it's called. Lava Axe is a card. I'm thinking Lightning Axe, though, I think. Definitely don't play enough of these Madness, Phoenix type decks. Should play more of them, but I don't. Might be greedy for me to do this now. No, I think now's the time to do this. Yeah. They do have to discard 2 and then bye-bye everything. Although if they discard like Fiery Temper, that's going to be really sad. Okay. No attacks, not yet. What would be good off the top? Sap Vitality, a little bit awkward because of the mana with the Faceless Haven. A lot of black mana requirement in this deck, so we need 4 for that. So just a normal thing. Although this is going to get my Cordial Vampire up to a 6. Cool. It's going to get to a point where they can't deal with it, and then if I can find a Sorin to give it lifelink. Yeah. Alright. Dusk Legion Zealot. Ooh, Champion of the Dusk is really good. I think it's going to be the Gifted Aetherborn over the other Cordial Vampire. I want to kind of protect this one. If I send this in, they would have to give me a lot. No, not yet. Not yet. I'm going to be patient. I got time. I'm only an hour and a half into this recording. It's not a big deal. I can keep going a lot more. It's fine. Wouldn't mind finding like another Callous Blood Mage or another Go Blank to get rid of these Mana Gorge or that Mana Gorger Phoenix. But might not happen. Seasoned Pyromancer gums up the field beautifully. What a good card. Oh no, they had the Unholy Heat. No. That hurts. Oh, right on time. Always late to the party, Soren. All right. They can kill the Markov. Soren Markov if they really want to. But another Champion of Dust will be a good follow-up, and then hopefully I find another Soren to start giving lifelink to these vampires and just go nuts. Oh no, not again. Why is everybody so serious right now? Just play. There you go. How close is this Mana Gorger? 4, and it's... Oh, it's only 5. Okay. Coming back soon. Really wish I hit a swamp there, because if I had been able to put out the Cordial Vampire, attacking in at the Soren would have been really risky for the opponent. So, Mana Gorger Phoenix to the field. They draw 2, discard 2. Sure, Fiery Temper on the Soren. I'd prefer the Soren, I guess. Yeah, I'd rather have the Dusk Legion Zealot because of this.
Vengeance will come for you one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'd rather... excuse me. Rather do this. I'm going to lose a lot of life, but I think it's okay. I'm also thinking I'm okay attacking in now with the Gifted Aetherborn just to gain a little bit of life. Okay. Kill both because of Death Touch. That's okay. They do get to make 1/1 elementals. Soren would be pretty cool right now, because then I could get the Cordial on the field and sacrifice the Dust Legion Zealot, kill the Dragon Rage Channeler, double kill, pump with that. We'll see. When I started recording this video, there was no way I thought that this one was going to go nearly 2 hours. This is unbelievable. Most of these take, you know, usually it's like 45 minutes, an hour of recording or so to get 3 games, but this one's really eating into my afternoon, I'll tell you that. I don't even know what time it is anymore. Come on, opponent. Attack in. Yeah. Get frisky. That's very frisky. Friskier than I wanted them to be. I don't like losing my champion here, but I think I kind of have to. I can't go down to 4. Look who it is. It might not actually be good enough any... no, it's pretty okay still. So let's tap everything properly. Hopefully they don't have removal for it. I actually may have done this in... well, if they have removal, they have removal. Insightful. Okay. So I now have a 5/5 and a pretty good wall. And a wall that could potentially get a lot better if they decide, if they are not able to get rid of the Soren. But if they have to make the big attack in on the Soren, this Cordial Vampire is going to go nuts. Have just a massive feast. Fiery Temper on the Cordial Vampire now would make me quite sad. It's not out of the question, that's for sure, for certain. Hopefully they just attacking with a Mana Gorger, yeah. Yeah, they're scared of the Cordial Vampire. They know what it can do. It's possible they have 2 damage somehow. Oh no, okay, good. So, next turn is going to be goofy. I have 8 mana. I can turn on the Faceless Haven while putting out everything else. Can I? Oh, things just got fun. Let's put out this first. Yeah, I'd rather have the Dust Legion. Or the Gifted Aetherborn.
One life to save many.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get frisky. Let's get in. Oh, those are that's more triggers. Yeah. What do you do, mono red? Yes. Ooh, what was their clock? Oh, and I made diamond with that nice little run. Cool. Let me see the battlefield. I want to see. Let me click on it. 14. A lot of long games today. Quick wrap up. All right, my stomach is rumbling, so I'm not going to say too much. Sap Vitality, actually didn't really have much of a chance to shine, so I don't think I can judge the card too harshly over those 3 games. It did a few things. I still think it's a very good card to have in the mono black vampire makeup of the deck, but maybe not as a 4 of in the main board. I'm thinking maybe a 2-2 split might be something a little bit better. Maybe bring the Infernal Grasp into the main board over to the side. It might make things a little bit better going forward. Faceless Haven being a 3/3, I kind of noticed it. That sucks a little bit. It actually does, but it's fine. What can we do? Still, mono black vampires are nuts. If you can actually figure out how to use the Cordial Vampire, which I was starting to figure out how to use it properly near the end, it's silly. This is the first time I've actually played with the Cordial Vampire in a mono black vampire shell since it released, and it's awesome. I'm super impressed with it. Vampires, great little tribe. Try them out. See you in the next one. Take care for now, and enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.